feeling a little inadequate? I actually once met Lori Petty. Did you know the creator of Tank Girl, when he started the new run of the Tank Girl comic book a few years ago, made Tank Girl a briefcase carrying, suit wearing, normal person? Tank Girl, who has, been very much associated with counterculture, punk rock, not fitting with the authority, the revolutionary, edgy, anti-culture, all the things. She was very punk rock. So when asked why he would now make her pretty much the thing that she always stood against, his response was, the best way to be counterculture now is to not be counterculture. The best way to stand out for Tank Girl to fight against the thing she's always fought against is to become the thing, because everybody else has become Tank Girl. So Tank Girl needs to become what everybody else used to be. The best way to fight counterculture is to stop being counterculture. The best way to respond is not respond. Now, why am I using Tank Girl as my image? Because we're talking about this video that our friend, the basic expert, did a couple days ago called Does the OSR Even Mean Anything? Link down below, and the multiple responses, including mine, regarding his video. And just this sort of, as you know, there is a OSR culture war going on regarding gatekeeping, regarding this side of the OSR, fighting this side of the OSR, fighting that side, fighting the 5e, fighting the not 5e, the conforming to not conforming, the if you don't think the way I think, you need to kill yourself. There's some irony and hypocrisy in that one. The self-destruction of the OSR. And does the OSR even mean anything? What is the OSR? Well, this all comes out of the thing that the Delta Green guy did, and the OSR sort of, attacking each other because they can't fight against Wizards of the Coast right now. And just our belief is better than your belief. And then, of course, this blanket statement that the OSR are bigots. The OSR are extreme right-wing Nazi bigots. The OSR are extreme left-wing Nazi bigots. We're all extreme, we're all this, we're all the blah, blah. Okay, we don't know what the OSR is really anymore, or what it means anymore. I'm not sure it means anything. As far as I'm concerned, O stands for other, S stands for system, and R stands for rules. OSR is other systems rules. So whatever rule set I'm not using right now is the OSR. So if this is the rule set I'm using right now, every other rule set is the OSR. If the rule set I'm using is 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, then every other rule set falls under OSR as far as I'm concerned. Your definition may vary. I don't care. My definition as of today is other systems rules, everything that's not D&D. Because you just sort of lump all these games together and all these people together, and you can't. So the OSR is bigots. Well, you can't even define the OSR. So you can't say the OSR is a bigot. The OSR is not a person. The OSR is not a place. The OSR is not a thing. The OSR does not exist in a tangible function the same way this book exists. You could say this book is racist. You could say that Miguel or whatever, or whatever, bad. But you can't say the OSR is racist, because the OSR makes up pretty much everything that is considered a game. I don't know. Let's just look at the list of OSR fantasy games alone. Hold on. Here we go. So here is a list. It's about a year old. Last updated April 21st, 2023. He's been updating this since January. So as of 2 months ago, this is every OSR game this guy could find. And I assure you there's more. This is just fantasy, by the way. We're not talking all the OSR games that are sci-fi, superheroes, whatever. This is just the fantasy OSR games. So just take a look. I have a feeling we're going to go over 100, but sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, already at 20, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20, 29, 30. 30 is still going. So, yeah, Shadow Dark. Yay, Chelsea. Getting close to 100. Still going. So that just gives you a general idea. All these games are just fantasy games, and all of them technically fall under the OSR, whatever the OSR means to you. To me, it's other systems rules. So here's a bunch of other systems that use rules. So they're under the OSR because they're not the system I'm currently playing, and they're not 5e. So we're got 100 plus, and we're still going. So you are claiming that every one of these games and every person who plays these games is racist. And this is just the fantasy ones. And this isn't even a complete list. The last time I was able to find the complete list that somebody had done, that was like 2 years ago. There were 6,000 titles that fell under OSR, because OSR not only just means D&D retro clones, it also means retro clones of other games that were made in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that maybe you can't find copies of, or maybe they needed to be a little spruce up. So there's dozens of science fiction OSR games. There's dozens of superhero OSR games. There's dozens of Old West OSR games. There was a lot of weird games that came out after D&D. I mean, who remembers Creeps and Crawdads, or Bunnies and Burrows, the Watership Down role-playing game? You know, who remembers Human Occupied Landfill from the 90s? There was a lot of weird games. There's a lot of weird games that have come out. And most of those games were short-run print that you can't get anymore. So anybody who has ever taken a game that they absolutely loved, that they couldn't get anymore, and rewrote it and represented it under a new name with the rules slightly changed enough that they didn't violate any copyright, to go, here's a copy of X game. You can't get X game anymore. So here's my version of X game as presented as well as I can to emulate the experience of that game, which you can't get anymore. But here's the best way you can get it. That was, you know, a huge chunk of the OSR. So it's not just D&D retro clones. So you're saying every one of those games, and we're talking thousands, and every person who's played those games, and we're talking millions, and they're all bigots. The right wings are bigots. The left wings are bigots. The OSR is eating itself because it's attacking itself, and it's calling everybody else a bad name. And if, of course, my favorite, if you don't agree with me, kill yourself, right? So remember the Delta Green guy? He was out there like 2 weeks ago going, I hate you if you don't think the way I think. I don't want your money. Kill yourself. You deserve to die if you don't think the way I think, which I thought was just horrible. I'm like, fuck, dude, I just had a friend to try and kill themselves. You don't want my money? Fine. The OGGM wants your money, but don't tell people they need to die because they don't think the way you do. I'm sure there's things you've thought that I don't agree with. I'm sure there's things I think that you don't agree with. So therefore I have to die because we don't agree. We can't find a common meeting ground. We can't have diplomacy anymore. We can't talk to each other. I don't agree with you, so I have to kill myself. And a whole bunch of OSR people went after him for his stupid statement and him telling people they needed to kill themselves. And then the very next week, these same people who were angry at this guy for telling people they needed to die were attacking somebody else and telling that person he needed to go kill himself. So Delta Green guys saying people needed to go kill themselves, bad. But you telling other people to go kill themselves is good. Yes, no, hypocrisy. So obviously the OSR nonsense, if there even is an OSR, and at this point, I don't really think there is. I mean, it's just an idea. You can't fit it under one single thing, but it's easier for people to attack anybody by just saying, oh, OSR, I hate the OSR, I hate the OGL. It's trying to destroy the game. It's trying to destroy D&D. They are pro-gay. They are anti-gay. They are pro-right-wing. They are pro-left-wing, blah, blah, blah. Anybody who doesn't agree with me and the way I think, and my game of choice is the OSR, and the OSR is all bad. And even the OSR attacking other members of the OSR were basically all bad. And that's the number one story in the news. So you would think I should talk about it, but I've been trying to avoid it. Why am I trying to avoid it? Because no matter what I say about it is wrong. There is no empirical truth regarding this story. There's no story other than we're angry at each other, and we're angry at the world, and we're taking it out at each other, and we're using references that are easy to use because they're hurtful. When really it's just we're angry, and we don't know what to do with the anger, and it's easy for gamers to attack each other over ridiculous things. In the old days, this was called the edition wars. Oh, my edition of D&D is better than your edition of D&Ds. And I saw some pretty ugly shit during the 4th edition wars. And I saw some pretty ugly shit during the beginnings of the 5th edition wars. I mean, remember, I was physically assaulted simply because I hadn't seen Critical Role yet. That was ridiculous. And I'm not the only guy. Within that first 3-4 weeks, I saw 2 other people get into fights. I still know people who have gotten into fights over Critical Role. So but this OGL war just sort of surpasses all that and just ridiculousness. So should I comment on it? It's news. Should I go after the people who have called me a bigot and be like, I will spout out hate because I know hate gets clicks? Should I choose a side? Should I not choose a side? To win without fighting is best. The best way to respond is not to respond. The best way to be counterculture is to no longer be counterculture. So should I just continue as things are? Because I'm comfortable with doing things the way I've been doing it. And yes, I'm sort of avoiding a potential landmine. And yes, I am well aware that I am not getting the number of subs I could be getting because I have chosen not to go controversy. I fucking know that I could get 2,000, 3,000 subs if I just started, going after people and picking fights and complaining about Kyle Brink or whatever. Those are the guys who are getting the clicks right now. I know that if I decided to jump back into the J. Scott Garraby nightmare, I could easily start getting subs because picking on Scott is easy. Or picking on Shoner or picking on these other guys. I could easily get, but I'm not going to do that. And I know I'm sabotaging myself, but that's not what this channel is about. I never wanted this channel to be about hate. It's just supposed to be about talking about tabletop role-playing game news, advances, conventions, whatever, and making fun of Wizards of the Coast or making fun of whoever. And I equally make fun of everybody. I play no favorites. I don't even play favorites with Kelsey and Shadowdark. I know I got a lot of accusations about Shadowdark and that I was white knighting Shadowdark and I was white knighting Kelsey and I had the hots for Kelsey. And I'm like, dude, I don't have the hots for anybody. I'm asexual. I think Kelsey's a cool person and we've had some fun conversations. And I said I'd support her because I've been supporting her for 5 years. And people are like, you're standing Kelsey. Blah, 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 blah. And a week later, these same people were going, oh my God, Kelsey and Shadowdark are the best thing ever. And I was like, nah. So my side is to take no sides. My sides is to just make fun of people. And if choosing not to take a side means people attack me, great, whatever. To gatekeep, the best way to gatekeep is not to gatekeep. The best way to be counterculture is not to be counterculture. The best way to respond is not to respond. To win without fighting is best. The first man to raise a fist is the one who's run out of ideas. H.G. Wells said that. So if you're expecting me to talk about the OGL, OSR Culture War anymore after this, I'm not going to unless it affects something else in regards to Wizards of the Coast, Paizo, Tales from the Valiant, Dagger to the Heart, whatever. I'll talk about this, and I think we know that there's a lot of things that have come out of Miguel and Sylvia's mouth that I do not agree with, but that's okay, because I'm not working with them because I agree or disagree with their politics. I'm working with them to make money. I wrote this because I had a good idea and I wanted to make money and I knew it would get published. And I'm working on the next one, not because I have any political stance when it regards to what these guys think. It's because I want to get published and make money. That is the only politics I will still stand by, as I am a bloody capitalist and I have been since day one, and I will sell out. So take of that what you will. hopefully this is I know it's not going to be the only thing I say about it, because I'm sure somebody will go after me. Yay, thank you for the free press. But yeah, Scott, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to talk shit about you or anybody else, unless, even if they attack me, I'll just thank them for the free press. So if anybody wants to respond to this video and talk crap about me, thank you for the free press. And speaking of supporting me, why do you just ignore everything I said for the last 15 minutes? Head on over to Lulu and pick up WRETCHED Vigilantes physical for $38, I think, plus shipping, at $28 plus shipping and handling. It's 200 plus pages of superhero goodness written by me and Miguel, and it's got boobies in it. So extra selling. Yeah. Till next time, I'm the OG GM. This is it for Friday, because I have to go pick up a prescription and I got nothing else to say. So yeah, have a good day. Stay healthy, stay warm, stay dry, stay hydrated, and stay the off my land, you goddamn marks. Buy my merch.